In another dimension, another time and space, a parallel universe is falling on its face. It's Bucky O Hare for the Nintendo Entertainment System, another stellar title from Konami, synonymous with creating high-quality licensed video games based off many successful cartoons and movies. This is another late NES title and arrived in North America and Japan in 1992 and Europe in 1993. Now this was one game that many people, including myself, was not aware of due to the 16-bit consoles already out at the time. Many developers were just not ready to give up on the NES, and in order to try and help it hang on, they would try and push the system even further than before to try and cater for the 8-bit market. Bucky O Hare and his universe was created by Larry Hamer and Michael Golden and was a successful comic book series in 1984 and also had a short animated series in 1991 in which only 13 episodes were made. Whilst the cartoon was a big hit with kids, it was not picked up for another season, which I felt was a real shame, as it came out as the first wave of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mania was happening in the UK, and due to the Turtles comics, cartoon and successful movie coming out a few years previously. Whilst there were many copycat cartoons trying to cash in on the heroes in a half shell, Bucky O Hare was kind of different, really well written and gripping with a lot of emotional scenes and humour. It stars Bucky O Hare as the captain of a ship called the Righteous Indignation, along with his loyal crew, first mate and pilot Jenny, Bruiser the Baboon, who is the mechanic, Deadeye Duck, the ship's gunner, Blinky the robot who provides Bucky with information, and Willie DeWitt, a boy genius who stumbled upon Bucky's world by accident when an invention called the Proton Accelerator he built opens a door to Bucky's ship and world, allowing him to pass back and forth. Together they fight to stop a Toad army who invaded not only Bucky's homeworld of Warren but other planets, enslaving animals, and are trying to wipe out anyone who tries to stop them. Bucky O Hare for the NES was created whilst the series was running, and developers Konami would not only look to the cartoon for inspiration but would also try and make it as authentic as possible, introducing the same characters from the show but also throwing some inspired and original ideas at the same time. The game is a 2D platform shoot-'em-up strategy game, and players first assume the role of Bucky, as his crew members have been kidnapped and are being held on different planets. Bucky must choose who to rescue first via a Mega Man-esque choose-your-level type situation. The Rabbit Warrior must work his way through each act of every planet until he reaches a boss character. Once the boss has been defeated and the crew member rescued, that character becomes playable and can be selected at will. Each crew member has different abilities that need to be utilised in order to get through some levels successfully. Blinky can break ice with his projectiles, Deadeye can cling and jump to surfaces and has a spread gun which can take out baddies from different altitudes. Jenny has a wicked fast psychic laser beam and can use a psychic projectile ball to wipe out some enemies, and Willie has a powerful weapon which can do much more damage to the Toads, different enemies and bosses. So in order to get through the various stages you will need to work out who to use and when. Also, each player's power is activated by holding down the B button, and the meter can be increased by collecting power icons which will allow the attack or move to be more effective and last longer. Whilst each all share the same life meter, this can be increased and is essential when facing some of the game's bosses. The in-game cutscenes are of an extremely high quality, as is the case for all Konami games. So much time and effort has gone into ensuring that the game looks and feels like an episode of the cartoon. The graphics show off some impressive advanced visuals and effects, with many different types of enemies and stage hazards littered on each level, with no two ones feeling, looking or playing alike. I'm honestly really astounded that the developers went to such lengths considering the cartoon was no more, but I get a sense that they wanted to prove that they could get the best of both worlds, i.e. prove that Bucky O Hare would be just as successful as other platform heroes and also have the game beyond the NES. This could easily have been a SNES game in my opinion. However, once again, this being a Konami game, it is really tough, and some parts require a little bit of thought and quick reflexes, such as surviving on a moving iceberg that is melting, dodging fire and lava traps, jumping across meteorites and planets using a series of runaway carts, trying not to fall off dodging spikes, and also using a small flying vehicle through various auto-scrolling sections, shooting toads, and trying not to get trapped behind walls. Add to that the incredible bosses, with each one proving to be much more challenging. You'll be facing some familiar faces such as Toadborg, Alligator, the Air Marshal, various killer Toad machines and contraptions, and even some members of Bucky's own crew are bosses, having been captured by the Air Marshal a little later on, who uses a device to turn them against their captain. All of them are sweat-inducing, adrenaline-pumping battles that really force you to try and adapt and adopt different strategies to win. I mean, the Toad escape ship you face right near the end of the game can be tackled many ways. The goal is to destroy the guns and attack the massive exhaust pipe at the end whilst avoiding all the laser beams. Now, although Willie DeWitt's Thunder Gun is powerful and will do the exhaust pipe a lot of damage, Willie must be directly in front of it to attack it. This, however, puts him at risk from being hit by lasers. Or you could just use Deadeye Duck and get under the pipe and attack it. This also means you'll be avoiding the lasers a little bit easier, and although it drags out the battle longer, at least you won't be killed off so easily. The game puts the choice in your hands to use the character you feel would best suit the situation. Whilst this game is, as I said, tough, it is extremely fair. You see, each level is broken up into small sections or acts, and when you die and continue, you always start off on the last act that you were on. So say you die on a boss, you can continue and start again on him immediately. There's no making you jump through impossible hoops time and time again, and once you have conquered a tough section by moving to the next act, then the game doesn't backpedal and make you do it again. It also has a password feature so you can carry on where you left off at. Is there anything I didn't like about this game? Well, I wasn't a big fan of the sections of the salvage chute, where some sections were pitch black and you had to use the limited flashes of light to try and work your way across. I'll be honest with you, most of the time it was a blind guess that would often send my character falling to their death before I was able to figure it out. Also, I just felt that the escape section towards the end was a bit too long, plus this boss here didn't make it any easier. Most people would probably point out the Toad escape ship. Now, this was admittedly challenging, but once you work it out, it's not so bad, and with unlimited continues you can try to your heart's content. In conclusion, Bucky O Hare is one of the best 8-bit licensed games ever to grace the Nintendo Entertainment System that not only replicates the look and feel of the cartoon and comics, but also expands Bucky's world with many well thought out, original and innovative ideas that thrust this game head and shoulders above many well established platform games at the time. It controls very well and blends the established platform formula with Gradius style shooting and strategic elements, always keeping the player on their toes, but also rewarding them throughout. If you have not played Bucky O Hare, then what are you waiting for? Many might dismiss this as just another 8-bit game, but as is the case with many Konami games, there's much more to this game than meets the eye. Thank you so much for watching my review. If you have enjoyed it, then why not subscribe, as you'll really be helping my channel to grow, and you will be instantly notified when I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you